Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Nasscom Women Product Champion. I'm Shreya, your host for this episode. For today's conversation, we have a leader from fashion tech space. This industry in India is rapidly evolving with startups, established companies alike leveraging technology to transform the way consumers engage with fashion. From online marketplaces to subscription services and rental platforms, the use of technology has enabled companies to offer more personalized and convenient experiences for the consumers. With technology driving innovation and growth, fashion tech sector in India is poised to, for a disruption. We are thrilled to feature Aanchal Saini, who's the CEO of Flyrobe, India's first and largest fashion retail company. Aanchal, welcome to Nasscom Women Product Champions Initiative. We're glad to have you here. Before we get into the conversation with Aanchal, I want to talk a little bit about what she has done and achieved so far. Aanchal is a dynamic entrepreneur and a product leader with a background in law and passion for leveraging technology to drive business growth. Her innovative approach to building Flyrobe has transformed the retail industry in India, and her expertise in dispute resolution law has helped her navigate the challenges of scaling a successful startup. In this interview, we will dive into Aanchal's insights on building a successful product, scaling a business in a competitive market, and overcoming challenges as a woman leader in technology. Our focus is on celebrating women who are driving innovation and building impactful products. And we are excited to learn from Aanchal's experience and her expertise. So Aanchal, let's get started. I would of course want to know, and our listeners here as well, what inspired you to start Flyrobe? Especially, how did you make the transition from law to entrepreneurship? It's poles apart.
Totally, yes, of course. And mine has not been that journey, that boring corporate job, you're searching for some business and I get into an idea and I start. No, not at all. I loved law, I still love law, and the only reason that I started the rental business was the idea and like the need for the market that, we just require this kind of a service. And it started with all honesty, very personal, this thing that I was somebody that I would love to wear new clothes, and I understood that women are really mocked about, right? That the closet is full, you have nothing to wear, which is a real problem. Yes. And the problem is not that people don't have clothes to wear. The problem is that one dress has been worn by you and it's on social media, so now you don't want to wear it again. So repeating an outfit was a problem. Yeah. And also that when you're in a certain age, you don't like to borrow clothes from friends and sisters and brothers and whatever. In college and in school, you might just wear borrowed clothes, etc. And then I realized that, also the time was an issue. Like, I'm working. When I come home, I just want one dress ready for me and I want to wear it to a party and then that's all right. So this was an idea. But of course, if you talk about the later part of Flyrobe and the later part of the rental business, my approach was very narrow. I started with renting Western wear and accessories. Okay. And eventually, I founded the brand called Rented Bay. Where we were renting Western wear and accessories. Flyrobe was a competition, and eventually down the journey, we acquired Flyrobe to make the business 10x.
Oh, okay.
And so the idea was, we understood that rental has been there in the country, but in a very unorganized manner, where masses are not going and renting. Rental is or was for basically only the aspirational class, okay, that I don't have the money to buy a lehenga, so I am renting. I'm talking about like a decade ago, right?
Yeah.
So we realized that what should be done so that we can allow, we can just make the masses rent. So started with Westerns, because when you penetrate a market, your ticket size has to be very small for the user to try your service. And back then, 8 years ago, we were sort of spending, say, about 2,700 rupees to cater to an order which will give us 300 rupees. So that's what we were doing. And we started with the service like we would deliver a dress within 3 hours. When the user receives the product, she's receiving one spare size. Our person will wait while she unpacks that very fancy box packaging. We would butter wrap the outfit with the butter paper, and the quality of the box was specifically designed to be the same quality of a Chanel box.
Oh my God.
She would, just open the ribbon, take out the dress, try it. Our guy is carrying a portable steam iron. He'll steam iron it, hang it right there, and then move out. All this for $300. Okay. So this is how we started to make people try rentals. And down the line, so that time it was online and Westons.
Yep.
Westons accessories online. As an entrepreneur, I experimented with various categories, whether it's a subscription monthly model, where it is a mass product like a Zara dress or a Charles & Keith bag, or a luxury product like a Prada bag, or like a Chloe sunglasses, like that. So I've experimented with different products and different models, a normal 4-day rental or a subscription model. So eventually we realized that ethnic is the product. Ethnic is a real product. Because the entire focus is buy the basic and rent the iconic. So ethnic is a more expensive product, and for now that was the need for us to commence with. So the product was of course clear, and then we realized that we have to be omni-channel. We need physical stores because Indians don't order their bridal lehengas online.
Yeah.
There are various websites selling the expensive designer products, but they are mostly catering to the NRIs. For us, look and feel matters, right? We need to go, and plus it's a very emotional decision where the entire family is going and selecting the product that the bride or the groom will be wearing.
Yeah.
So we realized we need stores. So since then, and we opened our first store like 6 years ago. Since then, it's an omni-channel business for us because people discover us online and they transact offline.
Okay.
So discovery happens online. That's how we reach to the masses.
Got it. So
Yes.
that's
this
like,
has been the entire like a snippet of the journey. But yeah, the idea was really exciting and trying something new. And of course, technology helped. My partners, Ricky and Karan, are tech guys.
Okay.
So we coupled the idea with technology and started this.
Great. This is like
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know that you guys are doing a phenomenal job right now, right?
Thank you.
So I want to pick when you said all this happened 8 years ago. Now, when a company is small, there are a lot of pivots, which you spoke about, right? Trying about different products, like you started with Western, and now you said that you kind of arrived at this where you only want to play in the ethnic area, right? So there are a lot of parts that are happening as you're building a business, as you're building your company. How did you actually ensure that you understood what was going on, you understood the market, and that when you were pivoting, you kind of knew that you were moving in the right direction? So how did you get the sense of that, and how have you dealt with this?
So for us, of course, initially it was a struggle because there was no data to help us. And post that initial struggle, it's always been data driven for us. Like whatever the customer wants, we do that.
Yeah.
Now today we know we need a store in next city because so many online users of Flyrobe are in the city, they are wanting a store. So we just do data wise. We know people are clicking on red color too much. So maybe more red products are required. So today it's data driven, but initially of course, it was more so to understand the space because it was very, very new and there was no precedent, right? There was literally no precedent. So it wasn't like we were not building like had I been wanting to build like a fashion website, say selling fashion, I would pick up like a Mastige fashion website, a Myntra or something, and pick up and put some more elements to it and make a new website. But for us, there was no precedent. So we really had to work our way through that. And of course, rental is an operationally nightmare. Challenging business because the operation, it's like a hotel booking system with a garment, right? You book a product in a future date for a certain period of time. That product is booked by multiple people during the same season but different dates, and in those medium periods you have to basically make the product ready for the next user. So the laundry, the repair, the alterations, all that has to happen and it has to go to the next user. Plus the product has to be also available at the stores so that we are taking future bookings. So it's a complicated game. And plus of course technology helps. When we were scaling and you're doing 10-20 orders, it was fine, but ultimately technology really played a big role. Back-end operations were tough for us, and so initially for me, I think as entrepreneur, I would probably get involved in every part of it So I have done everything in my company apart from using the sewing machine, because that I don't know how to use it and I did not learn that. Apart from that, I've done everything, whether it's a cleaning an outfit, whether it's a delivery, whether it's packaging, whatever, XYZ, making a sale at the store. So I've done everything.
Okay.
And you know, once you do it, only then you know how to improvise it, right? So we've done a lot of wrong things, but had we not done those wrong things, we would have never come to a proper procedure, right? So today all SOPs are set, we are rolling out franchisees, we are telling others also how to run a rental business, etc.
Got it.
So yeah, that was challenging, but the only way to deal was to do it and then understand and then redo it and multiple times redo it till you reach the proper,
Yes, that's I think a lot of listeners here will all obviously relate to this, that any product, whether it's software or a hardware product, it's really important to understand your market, you understand your user, their behavior, and then keep iterating till you reach or achieve something which you feel is viable and it's going to give you the desired results which you are looking for, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So that was very nicely put, Aanchal. I want to know that, you know, as you started working, and this is, so from the time that you started working, this was always there, the idea was always there, but obviously you've spent like a lot of time now in this industry, you understand it quite well. I want to know what were, you know, probably the hardest breakthroughs in your professional journey, and why was it hard, and you know, how did you kind of overcome it, or you know, how did you grew from that situation into another?
So clearly two things, Shreya. One was there was no precedent, as I just mentioned. There was nobody doing that and the kind of level that we wanted to do. So we had to learn the hard way. There was no other way. There were websites renting fashion in Europe and in the American, some of the states, but they were very different than what we do here.
Yes.
Clothing is different, the logistics systems are different, everything is different. So, you know, initially, because of no precedent, we had to really work hard in terms of understanding basic things, like, you know, I'll just give you a few examples. Okay, most interesting. The first day we launched the website, it was I think 5 hours and we received about 35 orders, and we were like, literally, we've not run ads, we've not done much. How can we get like 35 orders for a rental business in 5 hours? And you know what really happened? People thought that they have bought those products in a 200 rupee, 300. They thought they bought that 10,000, 15,000 worth product in 200, 300, 400 rupees, and they've made that successful purchase. Okay. And then we immediately had to get the website down and put rent everywhere on the face of it. Imagine, like, I'm talking about 8 years ago, people were not used to the idea of rentals. They look at a website, it's all online shopping for them. That's all, right? So this was one thing. Second thing was, you know, the kind of tags you have in a dress, like a lot of tags you have. So for us, obviously, we had to barcode products. So finding that material and that ink was challenging, because one product roughly goes through 15 rounds of dry cleaning. So that used to just fade off, right? Our numbers used to go away after 2-3 dry cleans. Because dry cleaning, again, they use a little hardish chemicals than you do it washing, right, at home, whatever. So
hard lessons.
Small things. So these were problems for us, okay, major problems, and we had to solve this in a way, research more, look and find, and all of those things. So yeah, having a precedent really was a problem, but again, also advantage is you're pioneering the space, right? You're the first ones. So you get that advantage too, but behind that there's always hard work, right?
So you did have the first mover advantage, but it was
definitely. And I think that would be the case for every segment who would be doing the first, you know, doing the first time kind of a business in whatever country you are in. Secondly, and I think the most important was, this is a mindset change business. Okay, so it's not like so there was a need in the market, we understood, but people had to be told, you know, that there is a need and there's an option available, why don't you try it? We, as a, you know, Indian mindset is buying. Shaadi ke liye we'll have to buy. Hum purana kapda kaise pehen lenge? That was the mindset, right? So about 8 years ago, again, 8 years ago the customer was completely aspirational. Today it's the millennial. So, you know, changing mindsets also took time. You know, companies like Ola, Uber, imagine some years ago, who thought that they would, like, if I used to tell my dad there's a cab service, and he would like, why will I use a cab? I have my own car and all. And now he's a regular user of Uber, like he doesn't want to take out his own car. Similarly, you know, they took time. So for this, I knew that I had to spend 8 to 10 years in this space to get to this, because this is no matter how much marketing dollars you spend on Facebook ads or Instagram ads, this will not give you results in a couple of months.
Yes.
You spend like 2 crore rupees in a month, you're not getting revenues of 10 crores in the next month. For this business, one, it's a very need-based business that, only when you require a product, you'll rent it, right? You can't rent and keep. There is no option of doing that.
Absolutely.
And secondly, the mindset has to be like, a customer now knows that they have to rent, they look for Flyrobe and then they come.
Yeah. So if I have to summarize, I think what you said, and that will, I think, apply to many entrepreneurs who are out there building any kind of product, is that really putting time and effort in defining your product and sticking to it and understanding the whole space, and then really, I would say, being resilient enough is, you have to do that, right? You have to stay focused.
Especially where a consumer behavior is involved, because we're trying to change that, okay? And that takes time, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually very keen to know that, you've spoken about a lot of these things, but now, like you said, it's reached a level where you have teams, where you have properly defined functions, you have SOPs, you have everything set in place, right? So as a CEO of the company, where do you now spend maximum of your time?
I spend my time with everything and anything apart from the routine work. Okay, so my involvement in managing the warehouse is zero, managing the stores is zero. All that has been done by different teams. I really focus on either solving some bits and problems to make their life easier, or if you're trying to speed up a process. Piloting new things is obviously my focus, and growth is my focus. So currently, as we speak, we are growing the franchise stores for us. So we understand that there is need for physical stores. We also understand that we have a user base pan India, and we have the product, right? So we need physical stores in different parts of the country, but we would like to have a local person who are managing that stores.
Got it.
And our experience has been phenomenal with the franchise. We built our first franchise 4 years ago in Bangalore. We launched the store in March 2020, and after a week, COVID happened.
Must have been a night.
It was, but then nightmare. Yeah, of course, COVID really, it was a disaster for us. But learnings happened, profitability happened, so much happened then. Despite of COVID and the extreme circumstances then, the first franchise has been profitable throughout.
Right.
Yes. So the stores are really profitable for us, and in fact, as a company also, we are profitable now.
Congratulations.
That changed.
Yes.
Thank you. That changed. So unit economics changed. A lot of things changed for us. So we now understand the franchise model works pretty well for us. So right now, my complete focus is building franchises.
Great to know. I think very important points there you spoke about, and let's move into the next segment, where I want to actually do a deep dive into some of the practices that you're doing, and especially when you spoke about scaling up. So while you're scaling up any business, tech, non-tech, running a business, and when you're doing all of that, it's absolutely essential to get your team right. Building the right team to drive your goal and vision is really important. So I want to know, how have you learned to put these teams together and bring the different individuals together who kind of work towards achieving one goal that you have as an organization? How do you do that?
So firstly, I'm a very sticky person. Usually we stick to our people, and most of the team, like 80% of the team, is just the same as it was when the Flyrobe started. Okay, so and obviously as an entrepreneur, you think you're just fantastic in all areas, but you're not, right? I have zero experience how to run retail stores. I had. Now, of course, I understood. But so that retail guy who came from one of the massive fashion retail chains was heading the flagship store, made me understand so many things that I wasn't aware of. So definitely specialized roles are very, very important, because as a person who is leading the entire business, you need to know everything about all departments of your business, and you can't see, I'm a lawyer, I understand legal, I understand business, I understand XYZ, but I don't understand a lot of things, right? So if you have special people doing that, your department is doing phenomenally well, plus your learning enhances, right?
Absolutely.
So my goal is definitely to learn from them, and so obviously that has also changed. Initially, the role was completely to listen to the person who's dealing in one aspect. There's one guy who's doing deliveries, okay? We have to understand his problems because it's a startup, right? There are issues that I cannot solve sitting in my head office, but the guy who's on the road knows much more better than me. I had to understand his suggestions to improvise the process, right? So talking to the team, spending a lot of time with them was important. So in giving you an example, okay, again, this, and some things were not dependent inside the organization, we also depend on outside companies. Initially, like 8 years ago, logistics was a nightmare for us because now this is a rental service. It has to reach you on that date. You're getting married the next day. We cannot spoil it. It has to come back from you. It's a return process. Logistics was not equipped for returns in a timely fashion, right? The product is, if you order a t-shirt from some website, doesn't come for 10 days, you don't care, that's fine, it'll just come, and whenever it comes you wear. It's your bridal outfit. And you know the kind of problems that we would as a company face if your outfit doesn't reach you. And
I'm sure, yes.
So so my teams, whatever problems they could solve as on date also, they're phenomenal, because I'll tell you again an example, okay, this happens. So for any of the stores, we get orders from within the city and also outside. Like the Delhi store would get an order from, say, a Jaipur or a Rohtak. A Jaipur person will specifically come to travel to Delhi to place an order, rental order, and then we're supposed to deliver. One odd mistake, this is a bridal outfit. My store manager, without even informing me, at 9 o'clock, there was some logistic issue or whatever. At 9 o'clock, he leaves Delhi, goes to Jaipur, drops the outfit, comes back, and is servicing to the next order at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
And this is, I don't even know about it. So that is the kind of team I have. That is the team. And without such a support, this business or this kind of a business can never be successful. Because, you know, I take the onus of giving an experience to a user. It's not just Flyrobe, you're trying rentals for the first time. So, you know, we have that burden on our shoulders. Like, you will not try rentals anytime next time if you don't have a good experience, right? So it's not just Flyrobe. I feel as an entire space, if we talk about the pride, we also have the responsibility, right? So every aspect, this is one example I'm giving, every business aspect is such that definitely this, and then once you grow a little, then you want your senior management, you will want salespeople, you will want other kind of stuff. So initially it was very operational, completely directly dealing with me. Then there was a phase when we came to entire middle management, that I was not dealing with anybody from operations at all. Then COVID happened, we had to completely shrink down. It was back to completely operations and me, that's all. Nobody else. Now again, it's the growing phase that we started to have middle management, and that's the way it's small.
So do you personally look into most of these hirings, or and what's the skill set, if you have to say if somebody is like this, I will have them?
So of course, I look at roles hirings, yes, definitely. So like if there's small hiring happening at the store, the sales, etc., that is, I don't get into that. But yeah, of course, major hirings, I am completely involved. And apart from your basic roles, job responsibilities, I feel that there's a little passion that's required for this kind of a business. Because you're selling a concept which most people would have now obviously heard of, but still, little extra passion is required. Because again, whether we're dealing to a B2B or a B2C client or a vendor, there's some special thing that you need to be associated, to a business which is unique, right? So I think that, I don't know what the word should be, probably like a little extra spark. So that's all we want in our people.
Passion and stickiness.
100%. Stickiness, if people stick around. If you're good to them, they're good to you. You both are enjoying work, they stick around, right?
True. Right. So that's very interesting to know that you're looking to hire passionate people who are kind of interested in this line and looking to build careers here.
I'm a very overexcited person, right? So I would want the same thing. Okay, I would probably message the wrong habits. Okay, I would 12:30, 1 o'clock in the night, I have some idea, I'll message them. I don't expect a response, but then I'm similarly, if they have an idea at 2 o'clock and they want to chat or this thing, I'm available. Okay, So because that happens,
Yes,
I think.
yes.
No matter how much you say, but that happens, right?
Good. Nice. Now, that is just really good to know that you're so connected with your team and very reachable.
Totally. Yes.
So, I also want to know that, how do you balance the need for innovation, like in this business? Now that you have a platform also, of course, you have franchisees also, but then how do you balance the need for innovation, experimentation with the need for reliability and stability, that you will need in your tech platform? And are there any processes that you have in place to manage this balance, which is really required? Users coming to your platform and then basically motivating them to complete the whole sales cycle and eventually trying out the product. So what are the balances that you have kind of kept in place for this particular process?
Okay, so for us, of course, initially, so I think now it's more sorted for us. It's a very standard process that people understand. You have to go set a product, do X, Y, Z. But initially it was like example, like we always had chat windows. Okay, so initially our effort and the backend team on the chat windows was huge because there was a lot of queries. People would want to know everything, that rental, I say how and all that. But now people understand. Most people understand rental. Most people understand Flyrobe processes. Okay, very happy that we've got new users also. So one chat window was something which has always helped us, still exists and helpful again. Other than that, when you talk about innovation here, so for innovation money for us is either we enhance features on the website that XYZ is added, category expansion or product expansion. So when you talk about product innovation, so that again is data driven mostly. We have stopped working on try, test, fail anymore completely. So it's data driven. Chat window, we hear people saying, okay, why we want pre-wedding gowns, we can't see pre-wedding gowns. We have X number of queries, we launch a collection. That's how we work.
Okay.
And X number of queries for one city, we open doors for the franchise for that city.
Interesting.
Yes. So now I think when it's completely on data and what users want from us now. So we build these communities and we understand that what they want, and now we have to just act on those things now.
But again, keeping consumer at the heart of all of this.
Of course, always. And I'm just getting along, moving on from the topic, but again an important thing to share. So one thing is of course consumer behavior, which is standard, which is changing, etc., etc. And sometimes I also feel that even the environment around, when it changes, some things change for us. Like COVID happened. So after that, the positive aspects, everybody talks negative and all, but a lot of positive things have happened to our business. One, the need for rental has risen completely, and plus our other model, which we also now we call ourselves like twofold model for society as sustainable business. Earlier we were just renting a product to the society. Now we are also taking products from society. Like you have like expensive product with you, like a wedding lehenga, Sabyasachi, etc. You can rent that to with Flyrobe and make money off your closet. So this happened, and with COVID, so there was no dearth in the number of products we were getting. Always high. Okay, our acceptance rate, we were picky and choosy because we had to make sure we make money on the product, and there was no dearth in the number, but in the product age there was a problem. You have that bridal lehenga sitting in your bed box for 1 year. Now you realize that I'm not wearing it. I should give it out. So the products were getting at least 1 year old before COVID. Post COVID, of course, as I mentioned, the environment around also matters. Post COVID, a person doesn't want to miss a chance to make money, extra buck. Secondly, we've spent so much time in our houses that we want to keep them clean. So we don't want to store things that we don't use anymore, right? So post COVID, we get products as new as she got married 3 days ago. She wants to give it right away.
Okay.
As new as, for XYZ reasons, the mother-in-law really pressurized her to buy a product. She's bought it. The wedding is next month on say 20th. She's telling us 22nd, please pick it up from me. So which solves the problem for us in terms of trends. So we're getting the latest, trendiest products.
Got it. I think that's very important to stay on top of things. If
Absolutely.
you're into this business, it's really important to get that piece right.
So this is what the differentiator is between us or any other rental company, that or a normal unorganized mom and pop rental store, that mom and pop rental store is not renting a product like a Sabyasachi, which is 5 lakh rupee lehenga. That store doesn't have that kind of quality or the design. And this is what the idea was, to get masses to rent. But how? Only when you product offering is super, there's something different, that you wearing a designer product. And today everybody wants to wear what Alia Bhatt is wearing, right? Save money, hygiene is super. You look at a store, it's a retail store, it looks like fabulous, like a designer store, doesn't feel like it's a rental store. Product upkeep is super.
Yes.
So all these factors add to it, right?
Yeah, I think that's really, really important, like you said, to where you have come and to really stick to the brand that you have built here. It's really important that you have those processes in place. Moving forward in the last segment of our discussion, I want to know, like, you've achieved so much, and it's really heartening to know that Flyrobe is doing some amazing stuff out there. Personally, I want to know from you, what headlines do you want to make beyond Flyrobe's CEO? And beyond what you're doing right now?
Okay. So I think I would probably make this a little bigger. It's not just Flyrobe, and I think it's a rental segment which excites me. Okay, if you tell me you've rented any product and you want a rented product, it makes my heart happy, definitely. You rent it from Flyrobe, even better. If you're not, even when people are trying rentals, it makes my heart really happy. I see women like, so there's a family which comes to the store. The girl is taking her bridal outfit. The mother, she thinks she eyes on a gown, and then she says, there's a reception, I feel like wearing a gown, why should not, I don't want to wear a sari, but what's the point buying? Now that 50-year-old woman, 55-year-old woman is renting a gown from us, and that really makes me happy, because she is going out of her comfort zone, trying out something new which she really wants to, instead of a standard sari, which probably some people in the house would say, just wear a sari, how, etc., etc. So when people try fashion, and rentals make it easy for you to try fashion, right? Then not sticking to it. Also with men, men are least experimental with their outfits, but with rentals they experiment. So men is easy customer for us and not emotionally attached to the outfit, so they don't mind renting and giving away. So we have this range of colors, like a striped tuxedo for a man, like a striped suit for a man, or like a multicolored floral Indo-Western, and you see guys trying it. And all this happens only when you're sort of taking it and with a small sum, you're not investing 20, 30, 40, 50,000 for that kind of a product. So I think both these things make me really happy. And of course, I am, the flag bearer sort of to promote rentals in the country. So I really, really wish that the numbers are, phenomenally doing very well. Like the kind of growth that we're expecting in terms of user acceptance, by 10 years, we've got it in 8 years.
That's nice.
And I think a lot to do with COVID and post-COVID mindset changes as well.
Great. Great to know that. So we've kind of almost, come to the last segment of our interview, and this is like a fun segment where I kind of ask these questions, and you have to answer them really quick, like a rapid fire, and you have to pick one option, right? So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So building a product for a niche market or a mass market?
Mass market always.
Really?
Yeah. Tough, but yes, fun.
Okay. Staying within the realm of what's proven, or taking the risk on the new and innovative ideas?
Taking the risk with ideas. There's no fun doing the other way.
I thought that maybe you might just choose the...
No, I would rather do it again. I would want to run like a headless chicken, but probably do it better this time.
That's good. Okay, investing in marketing or investing in product development?
Both equally.
No, you have to pick one. Like which comes first? Marketing or product development?
Without marketing you won't get sales. Without a good product you don't get sales either.
Yeah, okay.
I mean equal. You can't choose, Okay. But investing heavily in marketing is foolish.
Okay. Building a team with diverse skills or building a team with specialized skills?
Specialized skills.
Okay. Growing organically or through acquisitions?
Both. If you have the money, acquisitions. Otherwise, organic.
Reading a book or listening to a podcast? What's your pick?
Reading a book.
Okay. And early adopter or a late adopter of technology?
Early.
Very early.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
yes.
great. That's really good to know. It was great talking to you, Aanchal. Any last advice or anything that you would want to say to all the amazing women who are listening out there, who are either building products or they're working in larger companies, working on scaling products? What would you
So,
want to say
I
to them?
always say that don't give up. Everybody says don't give up, but literally don't give up. Matlab hota hai ki don't give up when you really feel like giving up and there is no other option but to give up. And plus, I think there is no harm taking support. Whether it's financial, whether it's you don't understand unit economics very well, you're not profitable, don't no harm. Go to people, ask them, understand, put every learning in place.
Build your network.
Definitely build your network and build your understanding well. If you don't understand something, don't shy away. Go seek help.
Yeah.
And I think all businesses do that, and that's the way it is. So
Yeah.
that's what my 2 pieces would be.
Thank you, Aanchal. It was lovely talking to you. And I'm
Thanks,
sure
Shreya.
that all the people or women who were tuning in and were not aware about Flyrobe, I'm sure they're going to try. I am going to try for sure.
Our Bangalore store awaits your visit.
Definitely. And I'm going to also recommend it to others as well. Thank you so much for joining us. It was lovely having you.
Thanks, Shreya.